Good morning. Thanks for tuning in to this video. My name is Dr. Anthony Raymond. We're going to be talking about the flu shot today and whether or not it truly is important for us to get and what purpose does the flu shot truly serve. Is it, as they say, a means to stimulate your immune system, thus protecting you from the deadly flu virus? Or possibly, is it a huge revenue generator for the pharmaceutical industry? And quite possibly one of the factors that has led to an overall sicker society with compromised immune systems. Well, in order to discuss this, let's examine the facts about this concept. Getting the flu shot is supposed to protect you from getting the flu. Yet thousands of people who get the flu shot each year still come down with the flu. Does that make sense to you? I thought the flu shot was supposed to protect us. Also, those individuals who do not get the flu shot aren't creating an epidemic where millions of people are coming down with the flu. Or are they? Not necessarily. So if they were getting the flu shot, the flu would apparently be eradicated. Yet this is not the case. It makes you wonder why you would get the flu shot in the first place. Let's look at fact number 2. Fact number 2 is that the flu shot is derived from the previous year's strain of the flu. That's right, the previous year. Now let's explain this a little bit. The flu in 2008 cannot be the same flu as in 2009. That's due to mutations. If, for example, we're getting a flu shot based on the flu from 2008, there's no way possible it can protect us in 2009. This is fact number 3. The fact that the flu is constantly mutating. When you begin to realize that the flu is constantly mutating, number 1, and number 2, that the flu shot is based on the previous year's flu, you begin to understand the ludicrousness of this nonsense that they're trying to say is useful for us, the flu shot. If the flu is constantly mutating, there's no possible chance that a scientist, unless they double at night as a psychic or something like that, can predict when the mutation is going to occur or what the mutation is actually going to be. So let's examine how the immune system works a little bit so you can really understand the craziness that this really is. Fact number 4 is that the immune system works on what's called a lock and key principle. Now what I mean by that is for each individual virus or bacteria or pathogen that our body comes in contact with, there's a very specific immune response that is generated in regards to that. And what the immune system does is it produces something called antibodies. Antibodies are our soldiers of the body. And what they do is they attack the very specific virus, pathogen, or bacteria. The antibodies that are created for the 2008 flu strain will not work for the 2009 flu strain. Again, remember, because it's a very specific lock and key. One key opens a very specific lock. So the antibodies that are produced from 2008 in no ways protect us in 2009. So then, if we're getting the flu shot based on 2008 strain, how on God's green earth can the antibodies that are produced protect us in 2009? It just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Let's examine this a little bit closer. Let's say, for example, as a child, you got exposed to the chickenpox virus. Now, the chickenpox virus, our bodies created very specific antibodies for that chickenpox virus. Those antibodies will not protect us from the common cold, the rhinovirus, because it's extremely specific. Again, the specificity in the immune system is what keeps us as healthy as possible. And there's no possible way that when we get exposed to 2008 strain, will it protect us from 2009. And remember, the strain in 2009 will not be the same strain as it was in 2008. So here's an interesting question. Just because we get exposed to the flu virus, does that mean that we're actually going to come down with the flu? And once you come to the realization that the answer to this question is no, it brings up a much more interesting question. Why not? The answer lies in the fact that, in fact number 5, Exposure to an infection, exposure to a virus or a pathogen or a bacteria does not lead to infection. And more importantly, infection with this virus, bacteria, or pathogen does not necessarily lead to symptoms. Let's examine this a little bit more. And this can be proved in any office setting in North America. As you can imagine, during flu season, one of your coworkers undoubtedly will come down with some form of cold, sickness, flu types of symptoms. And they'll come into the office space. And they will spread their pestilence to all of the coworkers in your office. Does every single person in your office come down with the flu or cold or virus? And you answer the question, no. Well, why is that? Why is it that although we're all exposed to the same virus, flu, pathogen, bacteria that they had, why does only a small selection of your coworkers get the disease or the sickness? What actually happens, and what I'm trying to show you, is that just because we're exposed to something does not necessarily mean we're going to get it. The factors that will help us in preventing acquiring this disease are how healthy our immune systems are. And the healthier our immune system is, the more able we are to fight off these viruses. So even if we do get exposed to the flu during flu season, does that necessarily mean that we're going to come down with the flu? No, it doesn't. And even if we get exposed to it, does that mean we're going to express symptoms of that? No, it doesn't either. This, I hope, shows you that the necessity to get the flu shot is not one whatsoever. There is zero scientific evidence that can show us the efficacy of the flu shot. And getting the flu shot does not necessarily mean that you're not going to get the flu. So why would you get it? I hope that by watching this, it has given you a little more insight into what exactly the flu shot is really all about. I hope it has caused you to start asking more questions. Please don't take everything I say verbatim. Do your research. You are truly the only ones responsible for your health. And it behooves you to find out what exactly is going into these flu shots, what exactly is going on with your health, because we are healthy human beings. And the healthier you can make your body through natural means, the better equipped you are to deal with the various viruses, bacteria, and pathogens that are out in our society. Thanks a lot for tuning in. It's Dr. Anthony Raymond with Keystone Chiropractic.